So, ladies and gentlemen, let's try one more problem at least. Okay? Let's try this one. Example 2. Let's say solve by using completing the square.
Hey, Mr. Cable,
Yes?
can we use a different method because like this method is like really tedious.
Yes, we are going to use a formula eventually, but for this class today, we have to use completing square.
Wait, Mr. Cable, before you move on, it says plus or minus the square root of 23 over 9i, and then it changed to plus or minus the square root of 23 over 3i. What happened there?
Okay, very good. Let me explain that. Let me explain that. Let me go there. Just give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay, so here's where your question was. Here. Your question was here, right? Square root of negative 23 over 9. All right, so now it's the same thing. This is another rewriting of equation. This is the same thing as saying square root of negative 23 divided by square root of 9. And that is going to give us square root of negative 23 divided by square root of 9 is a perfect square. So that's square root of 9 is 3. Now, because of the negative inside this particular one, anytime you have a negative number inside a square root, it becomes a complex number. So the numerator is going to be square root of 23 multiplied by square root of negative 1. Now, square root of negative 1 is I. So this one can be represented by I. It's called imaginary number. So you have square root of 23 I. If you like, you can write it I square root of 23. Okay? So that's what happened there.
Yeah, I see it now. I didn't see it at first.
No problem, no problem. What we are doing right now is exactly how a classroom should work. What we are doing right now, so far we are hitting it on the mark. People are asking questions and people are responding, and that is how it is supposed to be. All right? So now let's solve another one which might be a little bit easier. Let's see. I don't know, let's see. So the question would be x squared plus 8x plus 5 equal to 0. Now, somebody else other than Richard will guide us in this case using the step we did before. We are not doing anything new. We are just following the same step. So let's go. What's the first step? Remember, the coefficient here is 1, right? So because the coefficient is 1, we don't really need to divide through by the coefficient of x squared. But if on the other hand, you really want to follow it step by step, you can as well say 1 divided by 1 x squared plus 8 divided by 1 x plus 5 divided by 1 equal to 0 divided by 1. This is a step you can avoid if you want to, because the coefficient is already 1. So it comes back to the same equation. X squared plus 8x plus 5 equal to 0. Next, this 5, transfer it to the right side. So you're going to have x squared plus 8x equal to, plus goes to the right side, becomes minus 5. Next, somebody will have to help here. What shall we do? We have to divide the coefficient of x by 2. divide the coefficient of x by 2, square the result, and then add the squared result to both sides. Okay, so now look at this. The coefficient of x is 8, so divide it by 2. So you say 8 divided by 2, and that gives us 4. It says square 8, so you have 4 squared, that gives us 16. Then add the squared result to both sides. So now adding it to this equation, right? So that's going to give us x squared plus 8x plus 16 equal to negative 5 plus 16. Let's deal with the right side. Negative 5 plus 16 gives us what number?
11.
11. Okay. So now the left side is now factorable. So now these two, not two, this 4 is the magic number. So just say x plus 4 whole squared is the factor of these. Remember you're factoring? Okay. So you have x plus 4 whole squared is equal to 11. And then you do square root both sides. Square root both sides. So that's going to give us square root of x plus 4 whole squared is equal to square root of 11. Is 11 a perfect square?
No.
No, so we can leave it like that. And of course, that's actually plus or minus. And then left side gives us x plus 4 equal to plus or minus square root of 11. So now x1 will give us, actually, let me not skip this step. So x, if you move 4 to the right side, so that's going to be x will be equal to negative 4 plus or minus square root of 11. So x1 will give us negative 4 plus square root of 11. And then x2 will give us negative 4 minus square root of 11. And that's your solution.